Hello Skyliners, welcome back to Super-Duperville. Episode 38, Trains and Buses and Trolleys, oh my! I am Mike of Dragon Rider Gaming, and thank you so very much for stopping by. Today we have 4 goals ahead of us. Number 1, Super-Duperville Transportation. So we have cargo passenger trains to put in and an intercity bus terminal. Number 2, Industryland Transportation. This is a big one. We have cargo train, passenger train, intercity bus terminal, trolley, metro, and a big old cheese trap to put down for everybody to interconnect with all that crap. Number 3, connecting the dots. So we're going to link up all these transportation destinations that we just put in place and shrink them down, meaning that we're going to make sure that nobody has 48 buses on a single line, because that's dumb. Finally, number 4, get the ore and oil to level 3. So we're going to work with Get Your Rocks Off Mining Corporation and Trapexon Oil Company and try and help them get to level 3. So with all that said, enough farting around, let's get to it. This is where we left off last time, and we're going to go into a speed build right away, and I'll do a little bit of commentary while we do that. Fun stuff, let's go. Okay, so we're going to start off over in Super-Duperville. We're going to start with the train tracks going into the passenger hub over here. And what I decided to do is just do a very straight Y junction here, straight over the highway. And what the entire goal is, we're going down a big hill here. So I needed to create a method that I can have a nice gradual slope down while still being able to get into the hub as quickly as possible. So what I've decided to do is do this huge loop, which I can step down in slow increments and get it down to the passenger hub over here that's in the northern part of Super-Duperville. The first time I did this, it didn't work out right because I put everything up to the high height that I'm about to do, and when I started stepping down all of them in a row, it didn't have a nice gradual slope. It ended up having a very loopy. Loopy isn't the right word. A very I'm doing it with my hand. Wavy. There we go. Wavy is the word I was looking for. So, but I ended up doing it by 2 units at a time, and it ended up being very smooth there, as you saw. On this side, we're going to put the cargo hub in over on the, what is that going to be? The west side entrance to Super-Duperville. And I decided to do just a quick little rounded loop, just a little quick back and forth for this area. All I'm doing is going about 4 units apart, and then I just do a 2x2 curve at the end here to link them up. And that's an asymmetrical road going out to the highway, so when they come in, they'll have 1 road coming in, or 1 lane coming in, and when they go out, they'll have 2 lanes going out. Now to link it up to the train tracks again, and still try to have some sort of a gradual slope. And I actually lucked out here, being able to, on my first shot, being able to link it up here. So I was pretty happy with that. And what I find is at those Y junctions there, if you make the very first one, the first leg off of the Y junction the same height as the Y junction, it gives it a little bit smoother of a gradual slope. Cargo hub's in place, just got to get them some water, and we'll move on to the bus terminal. So for the intercity bus terminal, I decided to put it over on this end, and I started looking at this corner, and I'm like, you know, it'd be cool if we do another tiny little trapezoid area here, and come off of where we have the disaster response unit and put in like a little side entrance so that the buses can come off the main leg and they're not interrupting that process. But I wanted to have it a one-way system as well, so that when they come in this side, they go out the other side, and it's just a nice flow from, well, I guess it would be left to right still, looking at it from this direction, but if you look at it face on, it'd be right to left. We'll come back and we'll link up all of the locations here in a minute. Okay, so now for the big job. For this one, I decided to put it in this area here to the left of the intersection. And what I started to do is I was like, you know what, why don't we flatten this area, and that way the rail line itself will be raised even higher, and then we can drop the rail line down a little bit and hopefully slide in on this hilled edge and not have much of an incline at all for the entrance for the rail to come in, and that way it's just a nice smooth transition. Of course, using the sloping tool of the landscape, just smooth it all out. And I do a little bit of adjusting here because I know I want to put the cargo line on the right and the passenger hub on the left, so I knew if I put the cargo hub on a big hilly area, it's going to be pretty crazy. So I was like, all right, I'll just smooth all this out. So since it worked so well at the other location, I said, you know what? Let's do another straight Y junction here as well. And I'm going 8 units off, and the reason I'm only going 8 units at a 40-degree angle, and again, I'm holding down my control button when I'm putting these angles in so I get the 5-degree snap. And it worked out well, except when I put this leg in here, I noticed, oh geez, the train tracks aren't lining up. There we go. Now the train tracks come into play, or the you know what I mean, the rails at the bottom. You know what I mean. And look at that. One single height adjustment for both sides, and that is a nice smooth straight shot in. I was super happy with how that worked out. I tried my hand here at a Y junction on the inside, but I end up having to adjust that back because I thought I could put the rail much closer to the road than I actually could. So for coming off of this side here, this is going to be where the passenger hub is going to come in. I chose the national highway again, or the highway roads in an asymmetrical highway road. Why highway? Again, because people cannot walk down the side of the highway. And since I want to create a huge cheese trap here, I want to make sure that they are forced to use my park entrance to come into this area. So while I put a little single alleyway, two-way alley there, and they can walk down the alleyway, once they get down to the main road there, they cannot walk down that main road, so they'll have to take one of my cheese trap side routes. Here I'm just trying to align the rail lines with each other so that when it comes at the end there, I can do a even split off for each side. Even though the roads aren't going to be aligned because these are different depths, I was like, yeah, that's fine. It's going to look different enough in the end that I'm not going to worry about it too much. Takes a few attempts to get this right because coming off of there, the tracks didn't align. Tracks is the word I was looking for earlier. So I try a curve, and the curve looks like crap because of where the overhead lines go. So I was just like, all right, maybe I make it shorter. We'll try a shorter line. I put in the wrong road. It was just a little bit of a Monty Python episode here, trying to get these things into place here. I end up being able to put that in place, and I was like, you know what? I don't like the jaggedness of that, so I just go up and just curve it out. So I'm using the Move It mod. So excellent, I got those two in place. That's the starter of everything. Now this is going to get Metro, it's going to get the trolley, it already has the passenger hub, and it's got to get a bus. So I was like, I'm going to make a big old park area cheese trap. And what do I name it? Cheesy Cheese with Cheese, of course. So when deciding to put this in place, I was like, you know what? I think I want to go a little bit deeper on that side, but I want these roads to kind of be even on both ends, even though they're different areas. So I decided to go from 20 to 25 in depth. And then I go ahead and put the cargo hub line in place, following the same kind of pattern that I did over in Super-Duper Bay, going every 4 units for each leg of the road. Academic year came in and we actually gained a couple people, so I was really happy to see that we stopped losing people. We were so close to 1,200 students that we were about to lose or even our acclaim status, and I was going to be distraught if we lost our acclaim status. So hopefully that's a good pattern and a good sign that we're back on the right track and we're going to start gaining students again. I think because we got all the dead bodies out of there. I mean, who wants to go to college with a bunch of decomposing bodies around them just randomly in the middle of a stadium somewhere? I mean, come on. It's crazy. So here I was like, well, I'm going to put the bus terminal in, and I want it very close and aligned with the rail line as much as possible. So I decided to put it there, and it worked out that the roads at the very end kind of just gave a little bit of a loop there that we could put in place. And then putting this last leg in there that you just saw, the one-way road, what that allows the people to walk down to that corner, but again, they can't walk down the main road, so they're going to have to walk into our cheese trap once again on the other side. I wanted to put the trolley line in place now and actually attach the trolley line and figure out where I wanted to put the trolley stop along my cheese trap area. So I decided to go 3/4 of the way down on each side, every other section. And I think that's a good distance. You don't need to put this thing every single block and have it stop all the time. People will walk several blocks to get to these things. So having it roughly about 80 units apart from each stop, about 80 units from the next one, is pretty good. There will be metro system in here as well, remember. So they'll have multiple tie-ins to get around the area. So here you see me putting in all those cheese traps. So every single time they walk through a new gate, they're paying money. And that is just cruel and unusual punishment, but what the hell. We're here to make money. I got to start making some decent money. Right now, we're only at, I want to say, about 15 to 20,000 after we put all this in place. Since it's not populated right now, we're going to be closer to, 10,000 a week. And that's sad at 100,000 plus people to only have 10,000 a week income. I decided not to go with such a jagged corner, just curve all these off. A little bit smoother for the buses to travel around. So there's our cheese trap in place. And I was like, you know what? Let's turn off the metro, save some money there, but let's put some park assets in here. It would make sense to put some park assets. Maybe that'll draw people in. And if they come in and visit one of these areas, they're just going to be paying us tons and tons of money. So a couple cafes, a couple bathrooms, a park info booth. I think we put down a play gym there, or whatever that is, a playground and a bouncy place and a chessboard. Give them some water, throw down a couple pavilions and some parking spots, and this place is rocking and rolling. Again, a little promotional thing. This is my parking lot mod that I've made. You can find it on the workshop. It's called Modular Parking Lots. And it just allows you to do anywhere from 1 unit deep to 8 unit deep. Various ones, different numbers that indicate whether or not there's a handicap thing in place, or an electric car spot, or just a plain parking spot. And they have solar lights, so it doesn't require any electricity. They have solar lights that power up during the day and then light up at night. It's pretty nice, if I do say so myself, if I can have a little bit of ego there. Now it's time to just tie up all the lines here. You're going to see me zip around and link in every single bus stop and every single train location, and then I'll go back and I will reduce down the number of vehicles that are on each line. And I think I set all the bus lines to 5 buses per leg here, or per location to location. I'll go back and probably have to fix that. I imagine, I don't know why buses are such a popular method of transportation over trains and metros and stuff, but yeah, they love these intercity bus terminals, and they being all the peoples of Super-Duperville are digging the bus lines. Finally, I link in the trains, and I decided to go to multiple locations on these train terminals, so there's only actually 2 trains running out, and they run a bit of a loop. So, like, each one of them link into the Eastern Train Hub, and then Positiveville and Stutopia are linked in as well. A few adjustments down on those guys. We go and rename a bunch of the lines to a little bit more acronym based, but something that makes a little bit more sense, so I can tell at a glance what these things are. Abbreviation, I guess you could say, because now I'm linking 3 locations together. Awesome! So, get your rocks off mining corporations hit level 3. Sweet! So we can make a rotary kiln plant. Don't know what that does. An electronics factory, sweet. A seabed mining vessel, so that's cool. We can mine offshore, do some offshore drilling. Love it. And then a medium ore mine. Sweet. So I think Chirpexon is not that far behind. They're about 50 units behind. And there we go. Chirpexon Oil Company has reached level 3. So with these guys, we can do a large oil pump. We can build our toy factory now, which is cool, and have oil industry storage. So I'm excited to see how big this toy factory is, but that's for next episode. All right, so that's going to do it for this episode, and we're going to take a look at our cheesy cheese trap with cheese here, as well as the other developments down in Super-Duper Bay with the cargo and passenger train terminals. Kind of doing a dual side-by-side thing this episode to show the different areas and what we've done. If you like what we've done here, if you like what you're seeing, please drop a like, comment, dislike, any kind of information. I'd like to get some feedback. I appreciate it. Until next time, this is Mike, Dragon Rider Gaming. Take care of yourselves out there. We'll see you in the next episode, everybody. Bye-bye.